All right, day 1 of Chapter 6, Lesson 3, page 242, California Climate. So you need your name, AVID 6. The date for Tuesday is February 16th. Science FNT for the topic or objective. Chapter 6, Lesson 3, page 242, California Climate in blue. Main idea, essential question in blue. California has several different climate zones, each having different characteristics. Copy that exactly. Look at that, no vocabulary words. All right, so we're just going to jump right into the notes. In your red, California climate zones. California climate zones. As you have read, the climate of a region describes the long-term average weather conditions for that area. Several factors determine climate. Okay, climate equals long-term average, weather of region. Factors. These include prevailing winds, persistent pressure systems, distance to large bodies of water, and nearby landforms. Okay, so instead of prevailing winds, we're going to say wind patterns. Persistent pressure systems is just pressure systems. Large bodies of water, landforms. Meteorologists, practice that word, meteorologists, consider two main factors when describing climate, temperature and precipitation. So number 1, temperature, number 2, precipitation. Using these factors, California can be divided into 4 climate zones, as shown on the map below. Okay, here's the map. On any given day, the weather likely is quite different among the climate zones. Mountain ranges, the Pacific Ocean, and local landforms all create very different weather across California. For example, Los Angeles is located in a basin. It commonly has hot, dry weather. On the other hand, San Francisco is located on a bay. Its weather is often moist and cool. So a basin means that Los Angeles is surrounded by mountains, so it can get hot and dry in just that little pocket. But San Francisco is on the tip of this little peninsula and surrounded by water, so it's moist and cool. Okay, now, California has 4 zones. Remember they said California has 4 zones. Okay, here's the map and here's the 4 zones. So, Mediterranean, copy that one. Semi-arid, copy that one. Desert, write that. Highland, write that. That map is on page 242. Write page 242. Okay, what do we have going on here? The orange is Mediterranean. Hot, dry summers with rainy, mild winters. So the summer is hot and dry. In the winter, there's a little bit of rain, and it's mild, meaning it's not too cold, not too hot. It's kind of just in the middle. So all this orange area, notice that most of it is along the coast, is that way. The orange area inland here, those are the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. So they're a little bit higher elevation than the valley, so they're a little bit cooler. Okay, the yellow, semi-arid, dry, hot summers, that's the same as Mediterranean, but cold winters. So when you get in here inland where this yellow is, or you get up here in the beginning of the mountains, all of that has colder winters. Why? Because all the moisture is getting blocked by all these hills. So instead of it being kind of like a little milder in the winter, the air is a little drier, so it's a little colder. Okay, the desert. Very dry, very hot summers. Okay, that's where we are. So, Wasco equals desert / semi-arid. We're kind of right here in this pinkish and yellowish area, right? It gets very hot in the summer, and then the winters it can be very cold and it doesn't rain very often. Now out here, past the hills, this is out past Tehachapi. This is out here in Mojave. That's the desert. So this is like, for real, feels like desert. Whereas ours is a little bit less dry, a little bit less dirt and cactus. Okay, the last one, highland. Temperature varies with altitude. So you get up into the mountains, and things depend on how high you are. Okay, that's it for that section. take one last look if you're missing anything. Sacramento. Sacramento. Sacramento, the capital of California, is located almost in the center of the state. Okay, so it's kind of centered left and right. It's sort of center, north and south. So capital, comma, squiggle center, it's almost in the center. Along with its role in government, Sacramento is a shipping and rail center for the region. Okay, look at how the rivers pass and go up to the north. There's also some rivers that come down to the south. And most importantly, it goes out here to the San Francisco Bay, where ships can go down to Los Angeles or basically anywhere else in the world. Farm crops and other products are shipped to San Francisco by way of a channel through the Sacramento River Delta. Okay, as shown in the graph above, that graph, Sacramento has what is known as a Mediterranean climate, with mild winters and warm, dry summers. So, Mediterranean, we're up here, Mediterranean, and then indent, mild winter, warm, dry summer. Average yearly temperature is 16 degrees Celsius or 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Although Sacramento has distinct temperature differences during the seasons, they are not very severe. This makes Sacramento's weather quite pleasant, an important reason why it is one of the nation's faster growing cities. So, average AVG period, temp for temperature, 61 degrees Fahrenheit equals pleasant. So Mediterranean climate has a mild winter, warm, dry summers. Sacramento itself has a average temperature around 61 degrees Fahrenheit, which means it's pretty pleasant to be in most of the year. Okay, next up, Sacramento is about 65 kilometers or 40 miles east of the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas. I think that was a mistake. It was supposed to be west, because here are the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas. These mountains receive some of the heaviest snowpacks in the United States. Spring melting supplies fresh water for the region. So, all this weather flows in, hits these mountains and drops a ton of snow in the winter. And then in the spring, all that snow melts, all the water runs downhill, flows out into the valley, and that's why we're able to get so much water to grow so many crops. All that fresh water is available. All right, so Sierra Nevadas, arrow, fresh water, because the Sierra Nevadas provide us with fresh water. The climate of Sacramento is ideal for growing crops. Sacramento is part of California's Central Valley, one of the most fertile regions in the world. Its farms supply almost 1/4 of the food that America eats. Think of that again, 1/4 of the food America eats. Almost 1/4 of the food that the entire country eats comes from our valley. That's how fertile and that's how much water we have. Okay, so ideal for crops, zoop, fertile, and then that's it for Sacramento. Now, Sacramento has mild winters and warm, dry summers. In which month does the most precipitation fall? Okay, looking at this, it looks like that's the tallest blue, so January. And then over here, average precipitation in millimeters, it's somewhere around probably around 80 or 90 millimeters of rain in January. All right, so some rain, right? Looking at those blue bars, that's some rain. Santa Barbara is some rain. Palm Springs, out in the desert, very little rain. Mount Shasta, a lot of rain, and actually snow. That counts as snow too. So that's why we put some rain next to mild winter. A mild winter also means some rain for Sacramento. All right, how would you describe the climate of Sacramento? We would describe the climate of Sacramento as a Mediterranean climate. This means it has a mild winter with some rain, it has a warm and dry summer, and it has a very pleasant average temperature. Also, plenty of fresh water supplied by the Sierra Nevada mountains because of melting snow, making it ideal for crops, and a hub for transportation, as they were talking about with shipping and rail. Okay, turn to the next page, 244, Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara has moderate, pleasant weather all year long. Compare its average temperatures to those of Sacramento. Okay, average temperatures right around between maybe 10 and like 16-ish degrees Celsius. Sacramento goes from 10 all the way up to like around 24-ish maybe. So Sacramento can get a little bit colder and quite a bit warmer. Santa Barbara is very smooth and steady, almost the same temperature all year round. Okay, Santa Barbara is located on the coast of California, just north of Los Angeles. Okay, there's Los Angeles, there's Santa Barbara right there. You hop right over these mountains down into the valley. Here's Bakersfield and Wasco. Like Sacramento, Santa Barbara has mild winters and warm, dry summers. Okay, well, it's Mediterranean because we can see that in the map. It's in the orange. Mild winter, some rain, warm, dry summer. However, average temperatures tend to be slightly lower in summer and higher in winter than those of the capital. Okay, temp more steady than SAC, S-A-C, period, for Sacramento. Temperatures are more steady, right? That has a lower low and a higher high. These are more steady, more flat on this graph. Santa Barbara receives about 38 centimeters or 15 inches of rain each year. As in Sacramento, most precipitation occurs between November and March. Two important factors influence the climate of Santa Barbara. Although most of California's coastline extends in a north-south direction, Santa Barbara is located on a section of the coast that runs east-west. This helps modify the effects of the ocean currents that cool the rest of the California coast. Okay, so looking at the coast, most of the coast is straight up and down, north and south. So you have all that cool air blowing in, keeping things moderate. But down here, Santa Barbara, you notice how it's running mostly east and west? So that changes things. Okay, so the east to west coastline makes it a bit warmer. All right, where are we now? The Santa Ynez Mountains also influence the climate here. These mountains come almost to the water's edge. They provide protection from the summer heat of inland areas. Yet in the spring, dry, hot winds may move down the slopes of the mountains. These winds dry out vegetation and increase the risk of wildfires. Okay, so in the summertime, the mountains are preventing the inland heat from getting out there to where Santa Barbara is. It stays cool close to the water. So Santa Ynez Mountains protect from inland heat, but dry wind might cause wildfire risk. Okay. Millions of people live along the coast between Santa Barbara and the Mexican border. So they're talking about from Santa Barbara down through Los Angeles, all the way down to San Diego and the border of Mexico. Cities here include Los Angeles and San Diego, the two largest cities in California. They are popular in part because of the beautiful weather that lasts nearly all year long. So, beautiful all year. All right, that's everything for our first day. We are halfway through our notes, or halfway through the pages in the book, which means day 2, we'll be able to finish all the notes and phase 2. So that's our goal from now on. Half the notes on day 1, the other half and phase 2 on day 2. All right, good job persevering with the growth mindset, and roar, Wildcats!